Welcome everybody to a new Extreme Rules match. I'm your host, JustAbout619 HD here, bringing you guys a Brock Lesnar versus Triple H in a cage match, which is the official match choice for Extreme Rules this Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in the background, and also enjoy these kind of like, I wouldn't say they're made up pros and cons, but kind of like thoughts from me, pros and cons from me basically. So I'm going to start with the contender, which is Brock Lesnar, who's the one that's starting all the fights and stuff with Triple H by going to his CEO office, which I highly doubt was his office. I think it was just a staged act and all that stuff. But let's start with him and actually talk about a few pros that I've written out here. So one here, the number one that I put is he's really good when it comes to cages. Yeah, we already know that he's good with cages since he's a former UFC / MMA guy, and with being successful in that category, he can finally bring his skill to the WWE and actually have a cage match for once, and probably put on a good show since he's done it in the past with UFC and MMA. And his second pro is his power. It's going to be his strength, what's going to get him through, and I think that's what's going to be the main factor for Brock Lesnar to overpower Triple H, is to use his power grapples or his strike moves, his power strikes. That's probably the only way he can actually beat Triple H, to have a very good fight and all that. And then his third pro that I've written out here is, since the F5 is one of the most devastating finishers of all time, I think he's going to probably at least put 2 on Triple H before he can actually knock him out to get out of the ring. So those are some of the pros for Brock Lesnar that are written out. So let's get to it and actually talk about the cons for Brock Lesnar. And I tried to do my best on this one, tried to think of possibilities, but with Brock Lesnar being so tough in the WWE, like his personality, his character, and all that stuff, it's kind of hard to come up with cons on this guy. So I tried to do my best, and let's get to it and actually talk about number one. I highly doubt this will happen, but he could get knocked out. And there's really not that many ways to get knocked out without any weapons, so I wouldn't say that's a potential con, but it's going to be rare. It's going to be a rare con to happen on Brock Lesnar. And this next one, this is going to be a main factor, and it's going to be his stamina. Could he still hold his stamina, or will it go fast? And if he does not hold it, he's probably going to be done fast. And if Triple H can hold it longer than he can, his stamina, maybe he'll have a more potential than Brock Lesnar, and that could be maybe the difference between those two guys, which would make them greater. So the third and final con that I have for Brock Lesnar here is he might get a little sidetracked. If you've seen him kind of in the past, like if he gets attracted to something that really ticks him off, he'll usually go towards that instead of focusing on the match itself. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Paul Heyman or something special will happen, and he'll get sidetracked, and Triple H will take that advantage and actually use it to his cost and actually win the match by doing that and getting probably a pedigree or maybe some type of move on him that will knock him out, and also give him the chance to crawl out of the cage or go through the door, whichever one they want to do. I'm for sure they'll go through the door for the first 2 times probably, and then they'll have to climb over. So that's basically all I have for pros and cons for Brock Lesnar. So let's move on to the guy who wants to actually fight Brock Lesnar, and that's Triple H. So let's talk about some pros on him. My first pro on Triple H here is he's just as good as Brock Lesnar when it comes to being inside of a cage. So 2 skilled guys together it's going to be a very good match for sure. You're going to see probably the best of best when it comes to being inside of a cage. So that's my first pro. Number 2, his veteran wrestling skills are probably far better than Brock Lesnar right now, since Brock Lesnar is still kind of not quite through with wrestling yet, so he still has a lot to learn. And if you've seen in the past when he's done UFC stuff, he wasn't really that great, I would say, for some wrestling moves like what Triple H could actually do in the WWE. So I think that could probably carry him over as well And then the third and final one is he'll be focused for sure, because if you've seen him, he's wanted to fight Brock Lesnar for like the past month since WrestleMania 29. He's been wanting to fight him, and same with Brock Lesnar. So those are two pros for both of those guys that you could add on to Brock Lesnar's and stuff. So the cons right here that I have, we're gonna get them through pretty fast before we run out of time here, but I think his health has been an issue the past couple of times for Triple H because of the arm incident. I think it's just a fake thing, but his health is going to be a concern. Since he's in his early 40s and stuff, that is really a concern for people in that age range and stuff when it comes to wrestling. So we'll have to see what happens. Also, he could bleed out and get knocked out. And yes, I'm actually talking about Triple H's cons. So if you guys are just getting sidetracked there, that's who I'm talking about. And then also the third and final con for Triple H is he could get his arm fake broken, or whatever you want to call it, to like a fake broken arm again. So who knows what will happen, but Brock Lesnar needs to win this one so he can move on and actually go face CM Punk later this year at SummerSlam. So I hope you guys enjoyed this prediction with me picking Brock Lesnar for this pay-per-view match this weekend on Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoy the Extreme Rules match. It's going to be awesome, and I hope you guys had a nice day and a nice week. See you guys later. Peace out yet again.